Are you sure you're ready to do this?
Not really. Just kind of feel like, honestly, what's the worst that can happen? Apart from the world turning against me and looking down on me. I mean, yeah, sorry. Need to be an optimist, right? No, I feel like I don't know if I'm ready for this.
How old are you?
I am 21.
What age did you get pregnant?
I got pregnant at 13.
What age did you have your daughter?
I gave birth to my baby girl at 14.
How did you find out you were pregnant?
Originally, I just knew that I was pregnant. Like, honestly, I don't know a better way to tell anybody. I just knew. I was just like, I'm pregnant. That sounds so bad. It sounds so childish. Like, hey, I just know I'm pregnant. But no, it literally was just a certain level of certainty that I had. Nobody could tell me any different. I knew I was pregnant. But it's like it was happening but wasn't really happening. The reality of it didn't really hit. I remember I told the father of my child. He was the first person I told. And that didn't go well. And I think it was kind of all downhill from it was all downhill from there. I told him and he broke up with me and didn't believe me for the first 3 months. Like, didn't believe me to the point where I didn't even believe myself. Like, he didn't believe me so much. He convinced me that I wasn't, even though I knew I was. It was weird. Like, that's weird, right? But I don't think it got real until my mom found out. Like, that's when I knew, like, this is happening. This is real. Obviously, early pregnancy, I was constantly nauseous. And I was mad tired. Like, I was constantly really, really tired to the point where I just, not on purpose, but I would be too tired to get up in the morning to like get to class on time. So she made a deal with me. She just turned around. She was just like, listen, I'm going to take you to the doctor and we're going to see what's wrong. If nothing is wrong, then you're going to have to get your ass up and go to school every morning without complaining. Like, she was just fed up. And I was just like, okay, cool. Not taking into consideration that if I go to the doctor, my mama gonna find out I'm pregnant. I don't know how else to describe it, but like one of those memes on Instagram or on Twitter where, you know, the doctor asks you in front of your mom, are you having sex? It was that awkward. It was one of those memes. I was sitting here, the doctor was here looking this way, and my mom was here next to me, and I swear I just couldn't, peripheral vision or not, like I couldn't, like I blocked this side out. I blocked my mom out because I knew where this was going. And the doctor asked me, obviously, have you had sex? Then she asked me, well, have you been using protection? Is there a chance you could be pregnant? And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I knew I was, but I had to play it off. I was like, I don't know. And then the doctor was like, okay, well, we can take a test here, but it's going to take a couple days up to a week to come back with the results. Or you can go to the chemist and do a morning test, like, you know, like the same day test. So we were like, mom was like, we gonna do it. We gonna go get that, and we gonna do it. And then woke up in the morning and went to use the bathroom. I did it myself first. There was two. I did it myself. Something went wrong. It just didn't respond. So mom was like, okay, I'm gonna do it now. and she cut open a water bottle so to make like a cup, a disposable cup, and I had to pee in it. And I didn't have any pee left because I just used my morning pee, so there was no pee left. But I got some out. And she did it. But I know she didn't call me straight away because I know it didn't take that long. But I think she needed her time to kind of figure out things in her head. But I went in there, my mom was laying with her head at the end of the bed, hanging over the bed, looking at the test on the floor. And I don't know how to describe it. It was just pure disappointment. And in all honesty, like, I really, really wish she was angry at me. Or, obviously she was angry, but I wish she had shown me some anger. That would have been so much easier to deal with than just the sheer amount of disappointment that was in that moment. I think everything she tried to protect me from, she couldn't. So in a way, I think she was disappointed in herself and disappointed in me. Out of everything she said, the main thing I can remember her saying is, you know, whatever you decide, I'm gonna support you. And I think just for her, just that support gave me so much strength. It didn't make the situation okay, but my mom's never gone against her word. She supported me, and she supported me and my daughter and made sure we're always all right.
How did your dad react?
I don't know how to describe that one. He didn't speak to me. He, like, no word of a lie, my dad did not speak to me for the full time of my pregnancy. He did not. He was just like, silence. I think though there was one conversation, and I don't think I'll ever forget that conversation. I think I'm old enough now to move past it. I'll never forget it. He drove me to school one day, and I remember him pulling into the gas station so we could talk. Long story short, he tried to bribe me to get an abortion. And I remember he didn't support my modeling career or any of my dreams, to be honest. But in that moment, he used it to his advantage. And I remember him just saying, well, you know what? If you get rid of the baby, then I'll do whatever it takes to support you with your modeling, and you can be a model, and I'll set up photo shoots for you, everything like that. And I think I'm definitely old enough now to move past it. I think I understand. I'm at a point in my life where I understand why he did that and why he did what he did. And I am able to forgive him. I don't think I'll ever forget though. I was 13. I was struggling so much to deal with it myself. It was really, really hard. I didn't know what to say to him. But I forgive him. I won't forget, but I forgive him.
So with all of that, your age, what your dad said, what made you decide to keep the baby?
I just knew it's what I had to do. I think whenever people ask me that, it's hard to give a definitive answer. Because there wasn't ever a point where it was a question of what I was going to do. For other people there might have been, but for me I never questioned what I was going to do. I don't know why, because it wasn't planned. There was no plan, but there was just something in my spirit that knew this is what you're going to do. I honestly don't know how else to put it, but there was this really strange, now that I look back on it, level of calm. Like there was this certainty that I cannot describe. I just knew, okay, Swan, that's what you're gonna do. And you know, as well, I was just taking responsibility for my actions. Ain't nobody got me pregnant but me. And well, obviously somebody did get me pregnant, but you know what I mean?
What would you say the hardest part of your pregnancy was?
There was honestly so much that happened in my pregnancy. I don't even know where to start in terms of like the hardest. I think it was much. I think one of the hardest things was dealing with the idea that I wanted to give my daughter better than I could. I just remember sitting in bed crying so many nights. I would lay on the top and cry my eyes out, just saying my daughter deserves better. Like, I just didn't feel like I was good enough. I remember I thought about adoption, I thought about all these things. I just kept thinking in my head, I want my child to have better. My child needs better. And it was just this overwhelming, not a feeling of not wanting my child, but this overwhelming sense of love. And I love my child even before my child was born. I need my child to have everything. And I know that at that point I couldn't provide anything for my child. And that's what I mean. Without my mom, I didn't know what I would have done. Because it sent me into a state of prenatal depression. I don't think there was ever a night I didn't cry myself to sleep. I was 13 and pregnant. What do you think? Everything was hard. Going anywhere was hard. Like, everything was hard about it.
Do you regret having your daughter?
Do I regret having my daughter? No. I don't regret having my daughter. Do I regret having her at the age I did? Definitely. People are probably gonna misconstrue this or take this in a wrong way. But hey, let's be straight up. I think at the time, maybe because I thought I was a bit too big for my boots, I thought, you know, I was a little bit older than I really was, that I never really considered it. But when I look back and I really take into my age into perspective, especially thinking that my daughter is about to turn 7 next week. That's 3 years away from 10 and another 3 years away from the age I got pregnant. And I just think you really put into perspective how young 13 is. It's like, I can't condone what I did. I can't say that it was in any way, shape, or form right. For what I want for my daughter and my daughter's life, and what I would want for any of my children, no, I wouldn't have had her at the age I did. But then everything happens for a reason, because I feel like if I didn't have her, where would I be? Because the attitude I had at the time, especially being in the relationship, how the relationship between me and her father was, and the influence that he had on me, I'm like, where would I be? Like, what would I really be doing? I think she did save my life in a sense. And, you know, she's my biggest blessing. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm really not. If I had the chance to do it over, I would have waited quite a few years.
A common question was, based on your age, why did you feel like you needed to keep that secret?
It's because, as strong as I am, I don't think anyone is mentally strong enough to deal with the scrutiny and judgment that you receive by being pregnant at the age of 13. And yeah, I was determined and I kept pushing. But at the same time, no matter how mature I tried to be, I'm human. A very sensitive human at that. And I think also, work-wise, I had my daughter young. I had to jump into work. I had to lie to be able to work. Especially in the industry that I was working in, I had to do what I had to do. I don't regret it. And I know that sounds really bad, but I don't. Because the things I've achieved and opportunities I've got, I would never have got those if they knew my age. The worst part is, it was never that I was incapable of doing the things they asked. It was just their prejudgment based on my age. So if they did know my age, let's be so real. Regardless of whether I was the best at what I did or I was able to do what I did, I wouldn't have gotten to where I got to.
Being a teen mum, you get judged. How did that make you feel?
I feel like the worst judgment is not from the public. It's from the people that you believe love you and the people that smile up in your face but actually are judging you very, very harshly. That is honestly the worst judgment. There's nothing that they could say to me that I haven't heard. Like, I've heard every comment that people could make about me being a young mom. Like, honestly, come up with something better. Be original with it. But the judgment that hurt was from my family and from the people that I thought were my friends. Because you think that people support you and, you know, they act like they do, but they still have their own inner thoughts about you. And when those thoughts come out and you realize, wait, this is how these people really feel about me, that was what was most hurtful. I think that judgment, above anything, destroys you a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. It does hurt. Anything else that people say is like, when you care about that person and they got something to say, that's crazy. And you know what else as well? I think I have such a gentle heart. I have an open heart to people that judge me. Because let's be real. You judging me based off a statistic that I do not fit. A stigma and a persona that the government and society is trying to shove down your throat about young moms. Which I also don't fit. I don't come into that category. You judging me based off rumors that you hear. And you believe these rumors because it helps you to feel better about the fact that you're judging someone you don't know. But then that's the main thing. And that's why I can have a gentle heart about it. Because they don't know me. I know me. The people that are closest to me, they know me. I can be okay with you. As long as you don't come at my daughter wrong, I can be cool with you. Judge me. Because I would judge me too. Who the hell has a child at the age of 13? I would judge me too. But the thing is, it wasn't so straightforward as, oh, she just had a child at 13. There was a lot more to it. And even if there wasn't a lot more to it, I'll work my damn ass off to be more than just the girl that had a child at 13.
With all the judgment you'll get from this video, how come you've chosen now to do it?
I always knew I was going to make some sort of, whether it was going to be a video or a blog post or something, I was always going to do something to open up about my age and when I had my daughter and the truth behind it all. I think more than anything, I'm at a point in my life where I'm just like, ain't nobody gonna have control over my emotions. Ain't nobody gonna have control over me. I run me. I run my emotions. I run my life. And regardless of whether you know this or that about me, you don't control my life and you don't control me. So I feel like I'm at a place where I can deal with whatever comes with it. And that's why I'm okay with letting it out. And you know what I realized? And one thing I say all the time to anyone that I talk to is like, our lives are stories. You ain't never write a storybook to put it on a shelf and never read it. You write a storybook to read it and share so people can be touched by it and you can help whoever you can. I honestly believe we're all on this earth to help each other. Whether it's helping each other by smiling at the person you walk past, you never know how that's going to change your day. Or telling your story and it having an impact on someone you never even knew it would. We all going to help each other. It's not always financial. It's not always a big thing. It can be so small. I'm not here to be selfish with my story. There's going to be good and there's going to be bad. But I got to just do what I got to do. And I felt like this is what I got to do. And this was the right time to do it. And I think as well, I've done enough to prove myself. I think it was always a big thing. Like, I always knew that when I did this, I needed to have done enough. I needed to have accomplished enough. I needed to be in a place where people gonna judge me for the things I've accomplished and my achievements, and they gonna judge my work for my work, not my personal life. And I feel like I've done that. I'm not where I want to be in life, I'm ambitious and I got so much further to go. But I've done enough to prove that I'm more than a statistic. I'm more than just a young mom. I didn't need to be the person judged by this. I needed to be the person that has this big thing that is a huge part of them, but they did not let it stop them from achieving their dreams. I needed to be that person.
Why do you think you're more able now to deal with the scrutiny?
Can I give a fuck? Nah, I'm sorry. That was wrong. Let me keep it PG, Because I've tried to be a good person, and I try to be a bad bitch. And either way, I've been judged. I'ma just be me, and I'm gonna ignore the judgment unless it's constructive criticism that I can learn and grow from, and I don't need to hear it. I don't need to pay attention to it. Haters gonna hate. I'm not a hater. I'll never understand the mindset of a hater. I'm here. Not to say I'm better than anybody, but my mindset is on a different wavelength. So I'm never gonna understand you. I'm never gonna try and understand you. You gotta get on my wavelength. Stop hating. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna let your haterade come and spike my my fruit punch. Never. No, not gonna work like that.
What advice would you give to your 13, 14-year-old self?
Leave that nigga alone. What can I say? Listen to your parents and leave that nigga alone. I'm sorry, no. That sounds really bad. That sounds bad, Maya. Let me try again. Let me try again. But that was the truth. That was so true. That was the truth. Let me try again. Let me do something. Let me say something that might be a little bit more constructive and might help people more. What could I tell my 13-year-old self? It's all gonna work itself out. You're gonna be okay. I had given up on life from the age of 13. Everything that is happening in your life at this point does not define your life. Like, you're gonna be okay. More than anything, like, you're gonna be okay. Stick to your morals. Stick to who you are. Don't try and fit in. Be you. Because you are amazing. And you gonna be all around the world traveling and modeling and following your dreams. You gonna be fine, girl. You gonna do just fine. You gonna be a good mama. It's not gonna be the end. Don't listen to nobody telling you like your life is over. Like, you gonna be a good mama, and you gonna work it out. It's gonna be hard as hell, girl, but you gonna work it out. You're gonna be good enough for that child. Don't hurt yourself. Don't be sad.
So, as you've lived it, what are your thoughts on teenage pregnancy? What advice would you give to other single moms and teen moms?
I never at any point tried to promote being pregnant at a young age or getting pregnant at 13. I'll never promote that. It's not okay. And I can say it's not okay because I've been there, done that. But I think the main thing is not that to say, oh, it's not okay. We all know getting pregnant young is not ideal. It's not the best option. But it's not the end. And I think that's so important. If you get pregnant at a young age, it's not the end. I think that's the main message. At the end of the day, I can't tell nobody stop having sex. I can advise you to use some protection. Protection don't always work, and you might not take my advice. That's the truth of it. But if it does happen, because life hit you sometimes. Life happens. If you do end up pregnant at a young age, it is not the end of your life. You can do so much more. Don't listen to people that tell you that your life is done. Just don't give up. Don't be too hard on yourself. I think as young moms, everyone around us is telling us that we're not doing good enough. Or even if no one around us is telling us that, we telling ourselves that we're not good enough. Do your best. Do everything you can. And know that you're doing your best. And be okay with the fact that you're doing your best. Be so hard on yourself. It's okay.
Okay, my final question. What one thing would you want people to know about you?
Oh. I don't know. I'm crazy. I don't take life seriously. I don't know. What do people not know about me? I'm more than my social media. I am a woman of depth, and I am emotional and raw, and I'm sensitive, but I am one of the strongest people you ever meet. I can sit here cry right now, and even with every tear that dropped down my face, baby, I'm strong and I'm amazing. And I don't say that to be cocky. Like, honestly, I don't. I'm hella grateful to be alive, and I'm a give myself props while I'm alive. You know what I mean? Like, in all honesty, God, I don't know why God keep keeping me here, but He does for a reason. So that reason can't be nothing more than I'm simply amazing. And you know, if God recognized that and keep me here, everybody else should too. You girl got it going on. It is what it is.
I like that. I like that.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody know the truth now. Now we gotta wait for the storm. You ready to go through with me? Cause girl, you ain't leaving me.
Girl, I'm with you all the way. All the way. Been with you.
Now everybody gonna know that it's only 21 years that I've been doing me.
But look where you come in. It's only been 21 years. Girl.
I got this. I do. I love you so much, man.
Girl, I love you too. I'm proud of you, man.